Savvy Central Radio, drawing out the best from our guests, with host Christina Nichman.
Today, for our Savvy listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you an opportunity to check out their awesome services. Their audiobooks are great for the entrepreneur, small business owner on the run. Get your free audiobook today at www.audibletrial.com/Savvy Central Radio. Hello everyone, and welcome to Savvy Central Radio. This is your host, Christina Nichman. Each week on Savvy, we host successful individuals and business owners, inviting them to share their dreams, stories, wisdom, and lessons learned in their field of business. Today we have return guest Joel Comm. Joel is a sought-after speaker who leaves his audience inspired, entertained, and armed with strategic tools to create new media campaigns that will explode their business. He's also the best-selling author of several books. Today he joins us to talk about his new book, Social Poetry, boosting engagement and encouraging conversation by using inspirational, educational, and entertaining photo quotes. To find out more about Joel, visit his website at joelcomm, that's COMM.com. Hi, Joel. Welcome to Savvy Central Radio. How are you?
I'm feeling savvy, Christina. How are you?
I love Savvy. That's awesome. Joel, it's great to have you back on Savvy. You're the best-selling author of several books, and I'm excited to have you share your latest book with our audience, Social Poetry, Boosting Engagement and Encouraging Conversation by Using Inspirational, Educational, and Entertaining Photo Quotes.
That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. I was like, yes. Tell us all how it came about, your latest edition.
Well, I've been doing these, what I call photo quotes. For lack of a better word, I just kind of coined this phrase. I don't know if anybody else has used it yet or not, but you're perpetuating it, so I love that. I've been doing photo quotes online, using social media for a few years now. Basically, this is taking a picture of yourself or scenery or whatever and adding some words to it and just putting that up as a post on its own. And it could be an inspirational photo quote. It could be educational. It could be just entertaining, silly, fun. And that's kind of my MO whenever I write or speak or blog. And so translating them to pictures. Well, of course, a picture says 1,000 words. You paste a few more on there. Now you've got more than 1,000 words. So anyway, I was at Ken MacArthur's Impact event in Denver. I was scheduled to speak, and I had been doing a lot of speaking recently. And the day before I'm scheduled, I was at the event sitting at a table having lunch with some of the attendees. And one of them asked me what I was going to talk about the next day when I had the keynote. And I was honest. I said, I really don't know. I just haven't had much time to give it a lot of thought. And I'm one of those that I do my presentations often the night before. So it's no big deal. But I said, I really don't know. What would you like to hear? And one of them said, I really like those pictures that you put on social media with the words. It would be cool to know the story behind some of those. And I pondered that, and then the light bulb went off, and I ended up giving an entire presentation where I just showed these photo quotes, probably about 50 of them, and I kind of told the story behind them. Well, people love the presentation, and I got so many compliments on it. One person said, that would make a great coffee table book. And it didn't take me long for the light bulbs to go off again. And so that is a great idea. And I wish I could remember who it was. I want to say Mike Koenigs, but I could be attributing credit to the wrong person. But somebody suggested I call this book Social Poetry, because that's kind of what it was. And that was the genesis of it. And I immediately got to work putting, I think I've got about 60 of my photo quotes in there, along with one on a page, along with a description of the behind the scenes, and launched it as a Kindle book, and it hit #1 across several categories when I launched it last month, and it's available in a print edition as well. And so there you have it, book number 10, I believe it was.
Wow. Well, why do you think it's important to use pictures often with the message that you're putting across in social media? How is it helpful for your business?
Well, we're all about connecting with others. That's what social media is about. That's what the human race is all about. It's all about connecting, and sometimes a picture can communicate much faster than any words can. It's we're a very visual culture, and so pictures are just great. And plus, anybody can become a photographer now. We all have cameras with us all the time. And with the rise of social sites such as Instagram and Pinterest, it's all about the photo. And now we've got apps such as WordSwag and PicLab and Canva that make it so easy to add some really cool stylistic design texting to your photos that we're all, Photoshop pros all of a sudden, even without using Photoshop.
Absolutely. I know I'm not a Photoshop master by any stretch of the imagination, but I must admit that one of my other passions beside podcasting and broadcasting is actually flying with my partner and kind of incorporating my fun excursions on the weekend into my business page has really brought a lot of people chatting about my business and getting the dialogue open, which I guess is the whole point of it all.
Well, sure. People really connect with photos, and a lot of times we post pictures, without any words on them, and people connect. And these things are just, they're like nuggets that are easily shareable. And if they're done well, if your pictures look good and the words on them are legible. Some people, they'll put the wrong color words on the photo and you can't read them and they just look unprofessional. But if they look good and the message resonates, then not only do people like, comment, share, favorite, now they've got it on their page and they're putting it out there with their friends and they're commenting and they're engaging on the meaning of it. And sometimes it's just the silly ones that really get the most engagement. And that's fine because I like to be silly. And so I included a good number of those in the book as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've seen this go on a lot on social media where people will put up quotes, not necessarily their own quotes, but quotes by other people. Is this a good idea to use other people's quotes while using pictures, or do you think it's best to use your own words?
I don't know that there's any rules. I think as long as the quote is something you believe in, and whether it's inspirational or educational or entertaining, and the picture that you put with it, it makes sense. I don't have a problem with it. A lot of times you don't even really need photos to go with the quotes. You can just use a background. Like I know WordSwag has a bunch of standard default backgrounds of all different colors with different shapes and textures in them. And sometimes you could just take your words and your quote and put those on, the background. So even the picture itself isn't necessary. It's that you're creating an image of some kind. And I occasionally put other people's quotes on, but they're usually not super famous people. They're more likely to be my peers. In the book, there's a quote from Ken MacArthur. There's another one from a social media guy who lives here in Colorado, Brian G. Johnson. And there's one from Kevin Knebel. There's one from Kari Anderson. So sometimes I, like to share what my friends are saying as well.
Yeah. Now, I'm wondering, because you bring up another important point, which is how important is it to impart your own personality, your own thoughts and beliefs and values into your posting? Is it sometimes better to stay neutral on a subject or really put out there to your greater audience your own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs?
Oh, I'm a big fan of authenticity, and that means you're going to share your own feelings and your thoughts and your beliefs. Now, everybody has their own boundaries, what line they will and won't cross. And so there's certain parts of my life that are private, and just there's some thoughts that I have that, my filter says, I might think or believe that or perceive something a certain way, but I don't think it's important that my followers are in touch with that belief. It doesn't, I don't see it having a benefit to building relationship. It could end up becoming something that's divisive. And I don't see, for me, there's no reason to be divisive. I like bringing people together because I think there's much more, way more, infinitely more that we have in common than what separates us. There's other people that I follow on Facebook who I'm friends with, which division is their MO. That's what they're all about, whether it's political, religious, cultural, lifestyle, whatever it is. They are divisive and they don't care who knows it, and they will tell you, with words abbreviated with the letters F, Y, if you disagree with them. That's not who I am. It's fine for them. And I think every person needs to decide where those boundaries are in social and in their business, just as they do in their own life.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I guess it brings it to whatever you're posting, does it really reflect, if this is a site for your business dealings, does it really reflect the message you're trying to get on the branding for your particular business product or service?
Yeah, that's right. I'm really fortunate, and I guess part of it is just by choice that I am my brand. And so whatever it is that I post, it's me, it's my business, it's all the same thing. It's all a reflection of one and the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one of my absolute favorite quotes of yours, and I told you this prior to the interview, is Twitter is the water cooler of the 21st century. And then you have a water cooler and a bunch of people standing around there. And that was, for me, the perfect depiction of what Twitter's all about. And I loved it because for years, people would say, well, what the heck is Twitter? What the heck do you do on Twitter? Because you would say, okay, post what you're doing now. I think when Twitter first came out, it would say, so what are you doing or something? And then people will put, I'm eating a sandwich. Okay, I don't think I need to know that. But no, I really liked that one in particular because for me, it just represented what Twitter's all about. Do you have a favorite photo quote of yours and some fun-related stories you'd like to share?
Actually, one of the ones that are my favorites are not the businessy ones. They're the ones that tend towards personal development, or they're just plain silly. For example, I'm a kid at heart. Even though I'm 50 years old, I'm a Disney fan. I still love going to the theme parks. And when I was there with my friend Lou Mangello, who does the Walt Disney World podcast, Winnie the Pooh came up to us in one of the restaurants, and I took a picture with him, and Pooh and I got all gangsta looking. And so I took that picture, and the words that I posted on it were, everyone needs a little Pooh in their life. And, Pooh. And of course, you got the play on words, you got Winnie the Pooh there, you got the attitude of the whole thing. It's just good fun. And this thing, when I posted it, people loved it. Likes, comments, shares, retweets, just off the charts of how people responded to it. And, that's really a reflection of who I am and my nature. I'm just, I like to have a good time. And so that one, actually, I'm looking at the book now. It appears on page 42. Oh, no, here, I actually misquoted myself. What it says is, you're never too old for some poo. That was it. Yeah. So that was great fun. And then, other times, the more inspirational pieces, the ones about drawing boundaries and about relationships are the ones that I gravitate towards. For example, on page 17, there's a picture of me sitting with my hand on my chin, and it says, don't let anyone should on you.
Oh, I love that one. That's one of my
And, because we've all been there where others in our lives, just without permission, give us their opinion, give us instruction. Oh, you should do this, or you should do that, or even worse, you shouldn't have done that. And, we're all adults. And we have free will, and we get to make our choices. And a lot of times people don't understand why we do what we do. And, the older we get, the less we care what others think. And I try as habitually to not should on other people when they are in a situation and I have an opinion. I almost always will ask them before I give an opinion. I'll ask for permission. Would you like to know what I think about that? Do you want to know what I would do? And if they say no, then I keep my opinion to myself, because who am I to tell them what to do. And if they say yes, now two things happen. One, I've got that permission so that there's not going to be pushback or as much pushback. And two, they're going to be more receptive because now it's their idea to ask me. And so I try not to should on others, and I don't like it when people should on me. And of course, it's a great sound, in terms of a play on the words because, well, obvious reasons.
And we all are going about our own journey, and regardless of what mistakes we make, sometimes those mistakes actually make us stronger and learn more. So it's good to let someone, if you see them doing something, unless of course it's life-threatening, then you might want to step in there and say, hey, whoa. But other than that, if they're doing something that might not be the best business decision, sometimes it's good for them to, make that choice, run it through if they choose, if they, don't want to hear any opinion, and find out and learn from themselves, because that will be the greatest lesson for them, the greatest teacher for them.
Absolutely. No question. We're going to learn from our own mistakes better than other people stopping us from making them or attempting to.
Yeah, and what I like really about a lot of these photo quotes, as you mentioned, is the humor and wittiness about them. And I think nothing gets a idea across better than using humor, because it relates to all cultures and all people, and regardless of your cultural upbringing or otherwise, and then just being cute and witty with words, which I'm not really good at, unfortunately. But by the way, I love the moo one, the cow.
Oh, yeah, page 34. Yeah. Sometimes, I keep posting pictures of myself and I'm like, all right, that's enough me. And I was looking through my stock photos and came across this wonderful picture of a cow. And the cow is looking right at the camera, standing in the field. And I thought, what if this cow was going to post a photo quote? What would it say? And I flashed back to, the Fisher-Price barnyard toy where the cow says, moo. And so the quote is simply that. In quotes, it says moo, and underneath it's attributed to the cow. So, there you go.
And for you, do you feel that using photos and pictures and photo quotes has really been beneficial to your business and growing your business?
Oh, no question. No question about it. Because the purpose of engaging on social media is for people to interact with you. It's for them to share their thoughts, to say, here's what I think of that. This made me laugh. This inspired me. I disagree with that. Whatever. Any type of engagement is good. And when people are liking and then they're commenting and then they're sharing it, it spreads the word about the brand, and it helps people to identify and say, this guy said something smart. I want to follow him. I want to share him with my followers. This guy said something inspirational. It touched me. I want to share that. This guy made me laugh. I really need that today. He's really approachable, even though he's this, successful entrepreneur and best-selling author. I feel like I connect with him. I want to follow him and know him better, know him more, and I want to share him with those who follow me because I think they'll like him as well. So that's, in any business, whether it's an individual as a brand or a company that is offering products and services, the more real and down to earth you become, the more connectable you are with people's hearts and minds. And I think that's the purpose of social media.
Wow, that's a perfect way to put it, because people do not buy the product, service, or information. They really are buying the person behind it. They're connecting emotionally.
And right there, Christina, take those words you just said. People aren't buying a product or service. They're buying the person behind that, and put that on a picture, and you've got a photo quote.
All right, you betcha. And this recalls for me, Joel, as well. I had a woman from Blog Talk Radio. She is one of the main managers there. And she said for her, what really connects her to her social media peeps is really sharing her other great passion besides broadcasting, and that's cooking. So I think another thing you can do besides sharing photo quotes, sharing your passion with the world and your audience. Like mine is flying. If yours is bike racing on the weekend, sharing your fun excursions really gets your audience to feel like they are part of your life and that you're a real person, like you said.
Absolutely. Whatever your thing is, just be real about it. I've seen some people create photo quotes that are they're horrible. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe they should do something else, or they should look at my book and see what good ones look like. Not that mine are perfect. I'm not, an artist by any stretch, but they're clean, they're legible, they make sense. And I think, I often find that the white text is really the easiest to read on most pictures if you put it in the right place.
And that's a good point for not only photo quotes, but any type of copy you're doing. I just got, yesterday I went to a wonderful networking event in the city, and I got a bunch of business cards where they had wonderful written things on a wonderful business card that I couldn't read because they had a colorful background with writing that was also colorful, and one just went over the other, and I couldn't read the material.
Right.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you look good, and it's certainly not going to get engagement.
That's for certain. So, Joel, what do you have on the horizon for your business and for you in 2015?
Oh, there's so many things going on. I've got Twitter Power 3.0, which is the third edition of the world's best-selling book on Twitter, coming out in March of this year with my co-author, Dave Taylor. I'm speaking at Social Media Marketing World on Twitter. I'm keynoting New Media Expo in Las Vegas in April. I've already got an idea on the horizon for a bigger, better social poetry book that will include others beyond myself. I'm doing a book camp to teach people how to leverage and market their book, which I think is a real important thing to do, in Los Angeles in April. And we're just getting started. This year is going to be an incredible year.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. And how can others find out about that and contribute and come to one of your events?
I am the most findable guy in the world. I'm the only Joel Comm, and COMM is how you spell my name. And yes, it is my real name. So just search Joel Comm and you'll find my blog. You'll find me in all the social spaces. Go to Amazon, pick up a copy of Social Poetry. I think the Kindle version is $2.99, and I think you will love it. It's got a 5-star review, and the feedback's been wonderful.
Well, before we head on out here, being the social media master that you are, what parting words would you like to leave our audience with regards to social media, photo quotes, or anything with regards to that?
Just be you. Don't overthink social media. Don't look so much at the strategies and tactics. Rather, post about where you are in the moment, what you're doing. Share your life with people, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Those that I've seen post some of the most honest, authentic, vulnerable pieces in social are the ones that get the greatest engagement, because we want to connect with real people, people with heart, people with soul, people that aren't afraid to be themselves. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Just be you.
I love that. That is a great, great, great last tip there. One thing I'm seeing from a lot of people online is they're trying so hard to be something, maybe seeing other people be a certain way, and if I copy them, then I'll be successful, without realizing whom you're copying. That's not who you are. Just be who you are, follow your passion, and you will find success.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Joel Comm, for coming to Savvy Central Radio today.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
Today, for our Savvy listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you an opportunity to check out their awesome services. Their audiobooks are great for the entrepreneur, small business owner on the run. Get your free audiobook today at www.audibletrial.com/Savvy Central Radio. Wishing you a Happy New Year and a joyous, prosperous 2015. There's some exciting changes coming this 2015 for Savvy. We'll start videocasting some of our interviews. Also, stay tuned for a new book presently being worked on by my co-author and I, Karen Rowe. We'll talk about how to bridge the gap from worker bee to business owner, and the lessons we've learned on our journey to entrepreneurship. In addition, this spring we'll start live interview opportunities in Manhattan, which will later be aired on iHeartRadio, a new mix to business networking and interviews. For those interested in participating as a paid sponsor or interviewee, contact us at 718-713-2289 or savvycentralradio@gmail.com. Here's to 2015 being the best year yet for all of us.